Hey, and welcome to this video in which I'll show you how to build a really cool website in very little time. Now it is gonna go fast, so it's not really ideal as an instruction, but it's just to show you exactly what you can do with very little time. Now, just before we get started, let me give you a quick background story. I recently posted on a group that it has a lot of cool entrepreneurs in the group on Facebook, and they're very supportive of each other, and it's a great place to source comments and insights and so on. And my question to the group was, if we go to the free video training series which I currently have on this site, then at the bottom of this page there's an image that shows a lot of cool things, a lot of training videos on a what I call a free fast track video series training program that I'm giving away for free. And then with the hope, of course, naturally, that once they've seen this good content here, find it valuable enough to say, well, okay, let me go and get the full program. So basically, I was asking, what do you think the content? Does it have everything that it should have? Does it have too much? Does it have too little? Those type of questions. But one of the ladies was very kind and gave me some feedback, and she actually said, not to be blunt, but if you're wanting to get customers for your website training, your WordPress training program, and your site looks like it does now, which is this site, then quite frankly I wouldn't buy as a customer because it looks too homemade, and it just looks a little bit too mediocre. And here's the truth, it actually does. There's a reason for it though, because I actually wanted to build a site completely from scratch using little, if none, techie stuff. So basically make it completely for the beginner of WordPress and website building, and step by step taken by the hand. And that's what the WordPress program that I'm building is doing, or is trying to do. And basically this website is still I started a few years ago, but then I let it be. So it actually never got very far, and neither did the training videos. So that's what I'm building now. But her point is valuable enough because although it hurts, she said, I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but the truth hurts sometimes. And here's the thing: it does look homemade. It doesn't look beautiful and so on. So it's definitely something we want to upgrade, and it's something that I would definitely always advise you to do with your site, is upgrade it, and basically we'll do that with themes. Now, another thing that she pointed out was also that I'm actually in violation of WordPress trademarks, and I totally appreciate trademark laws, and I totally appreciate what's theirs is theirs, just like I want everybody to appreciate what's mine is mine. So one of their rules is that you can not make use of WordPress in your URL. So here's my URL up here, in my domain URL. It has your WordPress friend, so it has WordPress in the URL. That's a violation of their rules. Another violation is actually making use of their logo, this W here logo, as part of my logo, for instance. So for that reason, we'll have to build another site, another domain, and it's not a bad thing, because I mean, first of all, I was never really in love with this name, your WordPress friend, and the other part is that it'll give us a good training ground to build a brand new site. So I did actually earlier today, I registered this domain, Website Creation Mastery. So that's where we will be building a new site. And I thought what we'll do is also we'll look at building a really cool site. So what's a really cool site? Well, the lady who actually pointed these things out to me, she just so happens to actually make training programs also on WordPress, and she kind of suggested that I should go and take a training course with her, because obviously I didn't know what I was doing and how to build a website. And then once I completed her training, and then I could go and show you guys. But yeah, I don't really think it's going to be necessary to take her course because, quite frankly, I can build a site just like hers. So, and that's what I will do just to demonstrate. But the point is valid. I mean, if you come to this site here, looks how it is. You may have been drawn here by an ad that I'm running and so on. See, learn WordPress, learn to build your own cool website, and then you see this, then you might say, well, that's not cool enough. I don't want that. I want something that's way cooler. So you might make the same assumptions that, somebody who has a website like this, how can they train on, building a website and using the program? They're obviously not good enough. So it's an assumption that I totally appreciate, and her point was totally valid. So again, for the sake of good order, I'm going to continue the video showing you how we can build very fast and very cool website. And like I said, the cool website we'll look at is actually the website of the one who gave me the criticism or the critique or the constructive insights. And it's actually the New Solopreneur. This is their website, and you can see this looks a lot cooler. And this is actually an offering of a WordPress program. Very neat, very much the same as what I want to do, which is basically, take you by the hand and do step by step and very little techie and so on. So they have testimonials, they have all sorts of things, they have register now, and as you saw up here, they had the pricing, different pricing. So there's, a basic GoPro and a business elite that has different content in there and so on. But very, very nice looking website. So that's what we're gonna mimic, and really this is just for show and tell and quick demonstration that you can rest assured that once you take my program, you will be able to do the same. This particular video here will be too fast for you to really pick up everything, so it's just really to illustrate what you're gonna get and what we'll do much more slowly, step by step. Now, since I will be copying a lot of the text and so on, just as placeholders and so on to demonstrate what we can build, then it's going to be just a test site that we'll then, shall we say, destroy again or delete again and replace with a brand new site. I don't want to steal anybody's work, but I do want to, demonstrate the abilities of what will now become, instead of your WordPress friend, will become websitecreationmastery.com. So here's the site as it looks now. I'm hosting with HostMonster, and since I haven't put anything in here, then they'll show their little, they'll basically have a free advertising until I get going. So let's get going. So what would I do ordinarily first? Well, first of all, I need to make my site, my domain, ready to take on a website. So here's the login for my HostMonster account, and I will need to go and log in and get into the control panel. The control panel is often called the cPanel. cPanel is simply short for control panel. And control panel is where you make everything happen for your site at your domain hosting. So it's not where you control your WordPress as such, it's just where you control your domain. And I need to go to the domain manager, because one of the things that I haven't done yet is I haven't actually assigned the domain. And assigning domain is basically just telling them hosting, how's it going to be hosted? Is it going to have its own account? Is it going to, be an add-on and so on? And some of these things are, I don't know, I wouldn't even call it technical, but here's the thing. If you have an account with HostMonster, you can basically have a ton of different domains and basically just pay for one account. It's kind of neat that way. There might be benefits to splitting them up into separate, but at this point in time, totally happy with just an add-on. So anyway, I need to go and find it, and it was websitecreationmastery.com. There we go. And I basically click on that, and then I say assign it. And some of this is going to take a little bit, a few minutes each of these steps, and it's a little annoying, a little tedious for you to wait on. On the other hand, I don't want to really pause the video because I want to see show you exactly how quickly it's going to be. So basically I just want to make sure website creation mastery is the one I'm going to use add-on, and then I'm just going to have that it's going to have its own directory, and then just hit the assign button. Then HostMonster is going to do its trick, a few words there, works. And while it does that, let's go back and do something else so we make use of the time. So the Solopreneur, okay, we established this is a site we want to mimic or make exactly the same. It's a beautiful site, and like one of the big benefits behind WordPress is that everything really is controlled by themes. So you can change the look of your site very, very rapidly just by going by themes. So the question is, how do you find which theme this is? Well, you can go in and look at source codes, and sometimes you can find it in there, and that's a little technical and it's very tedious to go and find. So you don't really need to do that. You can do it much faster. You just take basically the URL, and I have two different sources I go to. I have what theme is that .com, and then basically I put in the website, the domain that I found. The other one is WP Theme Detector, and it's basically the same thing. I copy in the URL and have it go search. Now the other one already found it. It said it's in StudioPress. It's a StudioPress theme. So basically StudioPress has a number of different themes, and you can go and buy those. It also says it's the one called Altitude. And the other one also, well, it's still processing, but basically now we know where it is. Now it just so happens, here's what StudioPress, and we can go shop for themes, and you'll actually find it here. So here's a bunch of different themes, but the one that we found that it was the Altitude Pro theme. So you can click on that. You can see that's actually right now at shooting of this video, there's a reduction of price. I happen to already have an account with them, so I can basically, I'm actually logged in. I could just go into my StudioPress, and I can go and say downloads, and I basically have license for all of their themes. But basically here, as you can see, there's a bunch of different themes they have, some of them really cool, and this one was one of them. So I would just hit the download button, and it would download it onto my computer, and I've already done that, so we don't need to do that right now, but I have that. So let's get out of this one, the theme detectors. We don't need those anymore, so let's just get rid of those. This one. So anyways, let's go back and see how a domain has been taken care of. Successfully assigned webcreationmastery.com as an add-on. So that's perfect. Now I need to go back into the cPanel, because now what we need to do is install the WordPress platform, because if I refresh this site here, you can see nothing has happened. It's assigned, but nothing has happened because we haven't placed anything in there. So anyway, in the control planners, that's actually here for different websites that you can put in, and they have for WordPress, which is very cool, makes it easy for you. So you basically click install WordPress, and that's going to take a few more minutes again, each of these steps. So here you come in, and they have, install here, or they have if you need some help. Now here's the thing with the program that you can buy from me, you don't need to have anybody pay anybody to install it for you. It's super easy, and even this video here will show you how to do it. So you just hit the install button, and you gotta make sure if you have several domains to find the right one, because otherwise you'll mess up one of the ones you already done. So that's one place you need to be very careful of. Website creation mastery, and I wanted to rest right there. If I had wanted to be in a subdirectory, I could actually put in the name here for that subdirectory, but I wanted to be at that root domain, so to speak, of this domain name. And so basically I'm just clicking the install, and it's gonna take a little bit of time and come up with a couple of options. And here you could actually straight away say what you wanted to call, and I would say it's a website Creation Mastery, and your username. You can choose any username you want, and I'm just gonna copy this one. I'll change that to something I can remember later on, but right, for this video here, I'm just gonna choose what it is that they suggest, and then you have to agree to the terms and conditions, and then hit the install. And then this part here might take a few minutes, so let's just see what else we got going. So basically what we are trying to do, again, as a quick recap, we want to change this horrible looking site into something that looks like this. Of course, the content right now, for demonstration purposes, I'll make content look exactly like this, so we can demonstrate that we have the abilities to make a site as beautiful as this coming from something like this. Again, like I said, I'm in violation of using this domain, so I need a new domain, which will now be the website creationmastery.com. The installation here of WordPress is underway. It looks like now it's complete, which means we can go to the website and then we can click the refresh button, and you'll see that now it comes up with what is currently what it looks like after a website or WordPress has been installed by Mojo Marketplace. And this picture here will actually change from time to time, I noticed. Anyway, while this installation has taken place, there should actually be an email in your inbox with the email that you gave for your domain hoster. And this is how it looks here. It says it's completed. It gives you your username, and you can click here and see your password. And I copied the password before, and ordinarily speaking, I would put in my password of own choice that I can remember, so I don't need to bother about these things. But just in case you don't know how to get there, then it also has a URL for it. So basically that URL would be your domain, and then you can type in admin, and then actually I think you can type in admin, otherwise it's WP hyphen admin, but let's just see. No, that didn't work. So like I said, it's WP admin, and then you go to the login, and so basically I will log in with that password it gave me. And now you are in the dashboard. So the dashboard is your control panel within your site, within the WordPress platform on your site. So this is where you control everything on your site. If I just go up and pull up the account, so then we can see step by step. So right now, this is how it would look with the standard current WordPress theme. When I say current, it's because WordPress platform, they keep updating it, so it actually changes from time to time how it looks. But regardless, like I keep saying, you probably want to choose a theme that's going to help you look really cool out there. So that's what we're going to do. Again, we're going to mimic this site entirely. So let's go ahead and get that done. So what you would do is you log into your dashboard, and you go to appearance over here. Here's your navigation for everything that you do on your website. And you can see there's actually, these are the last three platforms of WordPress, but we need to add a new one, and that was the Altitude Pro. Now the Altitude Pro actually requires an extra theme. It's kind of like the WordPress platform is a platform, and then we need an extra theme on top, which is called a child theme, and it's called Genesis, and it's actually just some extra building blocks, so to speak, that this particular theme that we're using, the Altitude Pro, requires. And I already have that downloaded. It's a Genesis. That theme is called Genesis, and it's in a zip file, and I can basically just click on that, browse it, click it, and upload it, and then hit the install, and then we can activate it. And remember how the site looked on the standard version of WordPress currently. And if I refresh now, it will probably look a little different. So this is the standard of the Genesis theme. But then again, it's not done yet because that's just the building block to the actual Altitude Pro. So we need to go in again, add a new theme, and update with the Altitude Pro. So basically now we did one step first of putting in the first step of building blocks. Now we put in the second building block. A lot of themes don't need these two steps, but themes that are based on Genesis, they do. And so here you have it. So if we go in, it's now installed, it's activated, and it looks like this. So again, it looks very much different from what they kind of promised us. If we go in here, um, let me just show you. Oops. Let me show you the theme. So if we go in here for the altitude, we go in, they have live full demo. So you can usually go and see a demo. So this is the demo. And it looks very much like the other one, except for the background images are somewhat different. But so this is one of the things you will often find. You buy a theme, you thought you were going to get this, and instead, once you've installed it, you got this. So it's a far cry from each other. Now, this one actually has a number of, well, with StudioPress, you have a number of instructions for your site. So these are all the different website themes, and you click on expand, and you can see all the different steps of instructions and so on. So now we are under the Altitude Pro, and it gives an instruction for how you can import the demo content, which basically should make it look like this. I can't make it work for some reason, so maybe I'm just not very savvy at that point, but honestly, we don't need it either. The important bit is you do have good instruction of how to make the different areas work and so on if you should need it. Usually once you get a little bit, tried a lot of few things, and down the road you will know how to tweak and make it happen. So anyway, let's go back. And now the real work begins. So we will go into the widget area. So this theme is made of widget areas. Basically, you have a front page, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you actually have a footer. The footer, they don't use it over on this one, so we're not going to bother with it here. But basically, what it is, it's each of these areas that you see here are kind of like a placeholder area. So web page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, and page 7. And those are the ones that we have here controlled by widgets. And I have already prepped what needs to go in these contents. So we will just do a copy paste. And basically, it's going to leave you a little bit in the dust, but still it's going to demonstrate to you that we know how to build these sites, and also that I can help you get to that point where you can build these sites and become very, very savvy at it too. So basically right now, I just going to put in text fields in these placeholders, and then we're going to start building. So right now there'll be quite a bit of copy pasting here, and if you were to build your site, quite frankly, it would take you considerably longer than this will do, because basically you would have to think about, where do you want to put things, how do you want it to look, what are you gonna put in each area, and so on and so forth. So basically, you would not be able to build it this fast. It just wouldn't make sense for you to do so. Alright, so but I'm just gonna continue here so you can get everything going, and we can see. And most of this is just text. Now, I do have a little bit of coding in here, and in the program, if we need coding, I will tell you, but most of the time you don't actually need it. This is just in order for me to make sure that I end up with a site that looks like the site that we are trying to compare ourselves up against. And again, like I said, that's basically just for demonstration purposes, and nothing else. Ultimately, this demo site that I'm making now will be overridden by what will actually be our site. And what I also suspect is that the site is basically gonna be a live thing, so it will evolve and change over time. And the good thing is that Google, in terms of search engine optimization and ranking and so on, actually likes that, because Google likes to see a site that is updated and relevant. And so basically, once you build your site, I mean, you don't need to change it all the time, but it is a good idea to update it once in a while. And I'm not talking about necessarily changing the look of it or the theme of it, but I'm talking very much up in terms of the content. Plus, also your business or your message more than likely will change too. So it just, will reflect what's going on in your business or with your activities for that site. Let's see. I think I actually got one too many here for some reason. Yeah, I think there was one too many here. We don't need that. Let's see. And alright, I think I got it there. Alright, let's see, we're almost getting there. So excuse me for the wait here. Alright. There. Two of those. And this is placeholder number 5 on the front page of your website. And mimicking that other site, that's where they have the testimonials. And finally, we need these things are called widgets areas, and I'm using again text widgets, and basically those are just placeholders, like I've said previously. Alright, final one. Okay, so let's go and make an update and see what we got. Alright, so we have the see, we put in the website creation mastery. We did that when we made the install of the website of the WordPress platform. This is what we put in the placeholder. This is what we put in the placeholder. Here, here, and here all the testimonials. So basically that looks very much like this one over here. So let's just go ahead and see what we're lacking. Well, we're lacking this image here, so we need to upload an image. Let's go in and do that. That is under media, add new, and that's a drag and drop thing actually. So that's very cool, very neat, and super easy. Let's see here, and I actually have one right here, and I am going to go and grab the URL of that image, because what I need is to go back to the widgets area over here, and this one is in placeholder 2, and I need to put in the image here and then just put in the code for finding image. There, update the site. Let's go and see. Oh, something is not right. Okay, so I probably missed out a thing here. I mean, this one. Let's try again. So this is a great illustration that if you do not have the absolute correct code, if you kind of like miss one little step of the code, then you mess it up and you won't get it. Let's see here why it's not showing. There. Oh, I'm missing a text here. Okay, so see, I missed the text here, so that's the text that we have over here. And up there. Alright, and it looks like this one might need a bigger one, perhaps. Okay, so I need to fix a little bit. I thought it was actually H2. This is the size of the heading, and sometimes it actually you'll have to go in and fiddle with these things to make it completely right. But anyways, you get the gist of it for all of these things. Let's see here what else we need. So down in the bottom also look how it has a copyright and then the solopreneur created by Helena and powered by a platform and so on. If we go to ours, we will have, and you will have that too, a basically what I call a commercial or advertising free for the theme of Genesis and for WordPress. So I like to change it out for something of my own. So I want it to be websitecreationmastery.com. And then I want to get rid of some of these other things. For Genesis, that is easily controlled by a plugin. So in this case, we'll go for a plugin and install a plugin. It's called Simple Edits. Have it right there. We basically just go and we search for it. It'll come up as the first one, Genesis Simple Edits. Install it, yes please. Activate the plugin. Now it's activated, and then up on the Genesis is where you'll find it. And the one I want to change is basically open that up. and it is this one here. So footer copyright, and then I want to take away this child themes, the all of this I don't want. Footer lockout, I don't want that either. I do want web, actually let's put in 3Ws dot website creationmastery.com, and save settings, go to the site, do a refresh, see how it looks. So copyright 2015, website creationmastery.com. See, now it looks like ours and nobody else's, so that's how we like it. All right, what else do we need to do? It looks very much like this one over here, as you can see. Now, one thing that we're missing is this one has some very nice navigation, and we need to make navigation. So we'll go in again in our dashboard. We go to menus, because in this theme we need to create our own menu. And basically you can call your menu whatever. I usually just call it, I don't know, my menu or something like that. Create the menu. And in this case you need to go to links, because everything that we're going to do is controlled by links for this particular page. So let's just quickly make our menu. We put in a link, add to menu, we put in another link, add to menu, and we need one for each one of those placeholders. Oh, let's see, pricing, add to menu, so basically this URL is the built-in link for the for this particular website's different placeholders on the front page, just like I described it from the beginning. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we need actually one more. There, save the menu. Oh, and here's one thing we need to do. We need to tell it where this menu is going to be placed, and this is going to be a primary menu. So again, the theme says that this one is the primary menu. So let's see, website creation mastery, and now here are our navigation. So if I click here, it'll jump down to the placeholder that will talk about the modules, which is all this stuff here. Alright, so it looks very much like this one, except for this one has different background images. So we can fix that too. Let's go back. Customize under the appearance of the theme. There is such a thing as a background images, and look, these are the pretty images that it comes with, but you can change it very, very rapidly, and basically it's a drop your image into it. So let's do that. Oh, hold on 1 second. Drop, choose image, choose image, change image, choose image, change image, and then we have the final one, which is and save and publish. And then we go back here, update the site, have a look at it. Try again. No, did we not save it? Save. Oh, that's not it. Hold on 1 second. There we go. I must have clicked over the different ones. So anyways, let's see. I would say that looks very much like the other one. Alright, so notice this button has a different color than this one. Now what I normally do for finding that is I take a screenshot. This is a Mac, so I just hit Shift Command and 4, and I can basically cut out a piece that I want to have a look at. And it's right here. This is a piece, and then basically I open that piece with my Photoshop. If I can get it to speak with each other. Here we go. Photoshop. So now we're in Photoshop, and basically I take the eyedropper and then click the point of what the space that has a color that I want to find out, and then I click down here and it will actually give me the color code. So that's the color code that I want to find. I found a couple of other tools for you that you can use if you don't have Photoshop. Let's see, color codes from an image. So basically you can import that image that you took a screenshot of, that one, show image, and then you click on the appropriate area and it'll show the color code here. For Chrome, there was a pretty cool little eyedropper thing that you can put in. You can add as an extension to it, and once you have it, you open up the URL that you're looking at, you click on the eyedropper and you say pick color from the web, click there. Oh, sorry, I did a mistake. Pick color, and then just hover over it, and you can see down in the lower corner, the lower right hand corner, you can see the code there. So those are a couple of different cool ones that you can make use of. You copy the code, you go back into your site, under the customization there's a tab that's called colors, and then you just change out this blue one with this. Oh, that's not the color code. Let's try again. Need to copy there and save and publish, and then we go back and we update our site, and there you go. So let's do a comparison. If I put up this site, that's the site we're trying to mimic and copy, very rudely so, but I mean no offense. It's just to illustrate what you will learn to be able to do by yourself, not to steal others' work, but to how to build the site. And even though our site on Your WordPress Friend currently looks like something home built, which it was, then I'm now illustrating that we can build this beautiful looking site ourselves. And so basically, let's just scroll here. If I can get, oh sorry, I need to be at the right spot. So see, we look pretty much the same. There's a few bits and pieces here in terms of the size of the font that I could go in and tweak to get more the same, but it is pretty close, I would say. And I think you're probably in agreement with me that this is a good illustration that, you know, we can build these sites and thus, if you take the program, or when you take my program, your the website creation mastery course that I'm gonna offer, then you too will be in a position where you can build very, very cool website and not have to know a whole lot of coding or other technical things. That is the aim of it. The aim of the program is to take complete beginners to WordPress, complete beginners to website building, and have you be able to make your own site. And the benefit of that is not only that you'll save a lot of money. I used to buy websites left and right because I am a serial entrepreneur. I have lots of different businesses that I run, and I used to have a bunch back in the day too. And I used to have to buy my website from marketing agencies, and they would usually run me up at a cost of about $6,000 a piece, probably more. And so if you had like, you know, 5, 6, 10 of these sites, it was pretty expensive. And not only that, but also I was often left with the fact that, you know, when I needed an update, I couldn't have it made. You know, I couldn't do it myself. I was always in the hands of my website agency. And not only did it take a lot of extra time, but it also caused a lot of frustration. Now, finally, you know, there's a huge benefit to it because you can also build a business. So right now, I'm building this website creation course for you. I hope to be selling this at a decent rate, but then give a lot of value in the course so it can help a lot of other people. And so basically I can make money that way as an extra business, so to speak. But also it actually, and this true story, you can hear my accent, I'm from Denmark, so it actually helped me obtain a visa for the US. Knowing how to build websites and how to make it happen, I landed a job, and via that job it actually helped me get the visa required. And it also landed me a salary in one of the initial years of that company, which was 2012. It landed me a salary of, well, let's face it, a measly $9,200. Now, but before you laugh too much, within the same year, it landed me a bonus of $84,000. And it was, you know, more or less because of my abilities to do these things. So, you know, you can actually make a lot of money. But not only that, I would say if you're an entrepreneur, a author, a speaker, an authority, an expert, or a business owner of any sort of a how-to person and so on, it is absolutely cool that you can build your own website. And even if you should have somebody to build it for you, now you can kind of like see, well, what should it cost you? How easy is it? And certainly it'll leave you in a position where you can update it yourself. So it can save you a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of frustration. And that's why I think that, you know, you should have a bare minimum, you should have a fairly decent insight into how to do it. And you know, you'll get all of those things and much more in my website creation course. So just head on over. If you didn't already find it on my site, then just head over to websitecreationmastery.com. I look forward to seeing you there. If you found this video valuable, I appreciate very much if you would share it with other people who you think might find it valuable too. And I'd love to see you come and be part of the course. And I'd love to see you on our Facebook page, which we will try to make a websitecreationmastery.com or website creation mastery fan page on Facebook. So please go and look for that, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Now, just for the sake of good order and in true respect of the new solopreneur, I appreciate so much all the cool insights that you gave me. You know, the trademark violations. I didn't want to do that for anybody, so I will be creating this new site, and also for pointing out exactly what I would say, that first impressions make impressions. So, you know, anybody who comes to your website and see a very poor website just like this one, is probably not going to be very enticed to buy from you, whatever it is you're selling or whatever a message you're bringing. If you have a website that looks professional, you stand a much better chance. So again, in light of this new solopreneur, I appreciate your insights, and please know that I will, of course, delete all these things. I did change some of the things, so for instance, it doesn't mention you as such, but I appreciate that this is a complete copy of your copy and of your look, and that was just for an illustration purpose, and of course, that will go down instantaneously. So, anyways, for the viewer, I appreciate you very much. I hope to see you again. Please go and check out the course. Please go to websitecreationmastery.com. I look forward to seeing you there, and I bid you farewell. Thank you so much for watching.